Hi, I'm Bill from CJ Pony Parts. So far, we're having a lot of fun with our Focus ST project car. Between our cold air kit and exhaust combined with our SCT tune, we've seen some nice improvements in both sound and performance. For our next modification, we're going to move into the interior. If you like banging your own gears, you know most factory shifters are going to be a little bit on the vague side, and the Focus ST is no exception. So today we're going to move our factory shifter and replace it with a short throw shifter from Ford Racing. The Ford Racing shifter includes a factory knob as well as a factory boot to keep that original look. The shifting mechanism itself, however, is going to provide 18% shorter throws than your factory shifter. It's going to install in the factory location using all factory mounting hardware. For this installation, you need a panel removal tool, 1/4-inch ratchet, 5.5mm socket, 10mm socket, and a short extension. For a front-wheel drive car, the Focus shifter isn't terrible, but the throws are definitely on the longer side, so we're looking forward to a nice improvement with our Ford Racing. We're going to start by removing the shift boot retainer located here. Basically want to reach into the inside of the shift boot on the edge and carefully pull up. Once you get the edge lifted up, you may want to use a panel removal tool and carefully work around the outside edge to get them off. The clips can be really tight to remove. Now we'll separate the trim ring from the boot, pushing up these little plastic tabs here. Now we're going to start disassembling the console by removing the 3 screws located here, here, and up here. Now we're going to move the trim panel by pulling it upward and out. Start removing the driver's side plastic trim. We've got to remove this push pin first, and there's 5 other attaching points that'll come off once we remove the pin. Now we'll start pulling the panel away. Now we'll pull up on the other side panel over here. Push pin on our passenger side is located behind this panel. Now we're going to remove this panel the same way, pull out on it. Now we got to disconnect the console harnesses right here. To remove the rest of the console, there's 4 more bolts we have to take off. 2 of them are located here, then 1 on each side of the back of the console. Now we can remove the console. Now that we have all the console pieces out of the way, you can see the shifter assembly itself. And the next steps, we need to remove the 2 shifter cables located here and here. Now we can remove the 4 bolts that hold the shifter to the floor. We'll disconnect the shifter from the bottom of the dash. Now we'll disconnect the shift cables from the retainers and reach on the far side of it. There's a spring. You push it down and then slide the cable up and in. We can remove our stock shifter. Here you can see the Ford Racing shifter versus the stock shifter we just removed. You can see they have the same OEM base, same knob, and same boot. The Ford Racing is obviously much shorter, which is going to be shorter throws. We pull the boots back and pull the shifter handles back. See, the internals have also been upgraded. Not only is it a shorter throw shifter, all this plastic in here has been replaced by heavy-duty billet aluminum. Now that we install our new shifter, we basically just do the reverse of what we did to remove the old one. Now we can reconnect the shift cables. Before we reinstall everything, it's a good time to check, make sure the car goes into gear like it's supposed to. You can feel the throws are nice and short already. We'll try reverse. Okay, everything feels good. We can reinstall our console. Now that the console's seated, we'll reinstall the front screws. And now the rear screws. We can reconnect the wiring harness. We'll reinstall the side trim panel. Now the driver's side panel. Now the driver's side trim panel. Now our passenger side trim panel. Reinstall the 3 small screws we removed. Now we'll put the boot into our original trim plate. And then snap the trim plate into place. And our installation is finished. The height of the shifter is perfect, like right when you have your elbow resting on the center console, it's right where it should be. I always felt the stock shifter was a little too high for me. This is a lot more comfortable. I can keep my elbow actually on the console and shift through every gear. Ford says 18% shorter, it feels every bit of that at least. Our Ford Racing shifter worked exactly as advertised. The throws are noticeably shorter and the height of the shifter is absolutely perfect. Installation should take you around 2 hours. You'll be back on the road in no time.